Ovechkin. All right, so who saw it live? I saw it live.
You saw it live?
I was watching live.
I listened live.
Okay.
And then watched it back later.
Josh?
I missed it live.
Missed it.
My phone started blowing up while I was making lunch.
Oh?
I caught it live.
Caught it live. Very nice. Very nice. For me, I'll tell my story first. You guys each want to tell your stories about. I mean, here's the other part. I got emotional, and I had no idea that was coming. I'm watching the all of it. I'm in my truck by myself, which, you're watching a hockey game on your phone in your truck. I'll get to that in a minute. But as it's happening, I find myself being like, whew, man, this is a moment. This is pretty cool. They kept showing the highlight. And if you're watching the Ovi cast, which was that the only one, the Ovi cast? Was there a regular broadcast that I was not? I was watching the split screen one.
There might have been an available one on ESPN Plus because I've seen video of some stream someone was offering, I think ESPN, where like there's a third of the screen committed to just Ovechkin and then 2/3 of the screen to the game.
Okay, the one I was half and half.
Okay.
So it's funny because if you watch that feed, you just watched Ovechkin, you might have watched him, I don't know, do an awful lot of coasting. Like, whatever. It is what it is. Like, he's jumping in the zone and trying to score goals. I'm not picking on him. So, on that feed, watching him, they're going to a power play. Like, all right, jackpot. When they called the penalty, the arena goes nuts. I'm in my truck about to go in to hit the simulator. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stick here for the power play. It's a power play.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to sit here by myself and watch this power play on my phone. And just watching him, the way the camera works, the camera that's ISO'd on him when he takes the shot does not follow the shot. It's just on him, locked on him. So I'm watching him. I see it was like playing NHL's Be a Pro mode, right? Where you're just following the one guy. The puck comes to him. He shoots, and I hear the call of the goal, and I see the celebration. I've still not actually seen how the puck went in the net.
Oh, okay. But you know it's happening.
Right? Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So he kind of reaches back for it and slingshots it in, and he goes nuts. And man, I felt so lucky to have seen it live because I'm driving, I'm out. All right, fine, power play. Let me check in on this power play, and then bang, there it was.
Yeah, it's something you wanted to see live.
Yeah. For me, it's right there with seeing Mark McGuire hit his 60-second home run.
Yeah.
When the McGuire chase of 1998, you guys were all too young for that probably, right? All of you?
Yeah, I'm 3.
Okay. Well, I'm in college. And, man, that's nuts.
These two aren't even alive yet?
No. I wasn't born yet.
98?
No, me neither.
Yeah. McGuire's chase and McGuire and Sosa to chase Roger Maris's record, like that was, months and weeks and down to, all right, he's got 61, and they're playing tonight. Whenever he would get up to bat, you're cutting in on ESPN, or all the games are live. And I'm in college with all my roommates sitting around the dorm watching that game. And that moment to me was so much like Ovechkin's goal. Same thing. Here I am. I'm watching. Bang. There it is. It's awesome.
Yeah.
What a moment.
Awesome. I don't know that I have a previous moment that compares to that record. Because, like, what? When Brady breaks the passing record, it's not like everyone huddle around your TV because Brady's about to break that record. So for me, it was that. Like, every group chat I'm in is blowing up. Everyone's watching a couple of nights before, too, when he's at home against Chicago. Did you throw that game on when he was 1 away with 10 minutes to go?
I did. We were all at home, and he scored early. And yes, we were. I was on hat trick watch.
Right. Well, that one I didn't really think about it going into the night because he was 3 away. But same thing. Like, I just have a text group where everyone's talking about Ovechkin. So I'm assuming, and then I look like, oh, he's got 2. Throw the game on. How much time's left? There's 10 minutes left, and I am glued to that. So I listened live. I didn't watch it live, but I listened live, and the home radio broadcast was awesome. I think it was cool to hear, the hometown, play-by-play guy be able to call it. I did. So our next stop after the goal happened, and then they do the ceremony, you hear Gretzky speak. We pull over, we stop for something to eat in Pittsburgh, like just outside of Pittsburgh. And we're sitting down in this restaurant, and I'm like, okay, now I'm going to watch the goal. I'm going to watch the goal, and then we were trading off. I drove like 6-7 hours. She was taking the next shift. So my wife is about to drive after that. I'll watch the long ceremony after because it was like 20 minutes.
It was a long ceremony.
Gretzky talked forever.
It was a long ceremony.
I thought someone, and I watched after the fact, like someone gonna take the mic from Gretzky. He just won't stop talking. He's talking about the Islanders and Butch Goring. He's telling stories at this point.
Gretzky might be part of two of the worst ceremonies I've ever seen. There's this one, and then there's Gretzky's own retirement ceremony where they drove a truck onto the ice to give him a truck.
Like when he retired from like the
Rangers.
NHL?
Yes. When they retired his number.
They gave him a pickup truck.
They gave him a truck on the ice.
Interesting.
Thanks.
Is that really his fault, though? I feel like
I'm
he
just
didn't have
saying,
control over
I'm just
that.
What
saying
did he do with that truck?
I'm just saying he's been a part of these.
Did he ever drive that truck? There's no way, right?
Who knows?
So I did have the thought, I'm in Pittsburgh at this restaurant, I'm about to watch the goal, and I'm like, oh, Ovechkin. I like did look around over my shoulder, like, I'm watching this in Pittsburgh. They're fine, right?
Yeah.
They're all cool, right? Like, Crosby did they had a million different athletes that recorded videos congratulating him, and Crosby was one of them. The goal was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And, of course, if you know, you know. The other reason my phone was blowing up is because everybody is texting me, he did the Afinogenov.
Yeah.
He did the Afinogenov celebration.
The Superman.
The Superman dive on the ice, which Afinogenov did in Game 5. I have no belief at all that he did that to celebrate him. But, yeah. It was closer to the belly flop that he did in the fountain after winning the cup. I think I saw TJ Oshie reference that yesterday.
Yeah.
Awesome moment.
It was great. Islanders win the game. The funniest thing I thought was going in how the people that attended that game paid, $1,800 to either see Ovechkin make history or just see a random Islanders game.
Random Islanders game.
In which I was kind of rooting for that. You all just paid $2,000 and you just got to watch the Islanders on a Sunday. Congratulations for that.
Warm-up pucks were $375.
What?
Yeah, I saw on Twitter.
How much?
$375 for a warm-up puck from yesterday.
Wow.
Now,
Before the goal.
Okay, see, I was just going to ask that question.
And now that puck's $2,000.
That is nuts. Right, you're buying low.
I
Right?
didn't even know you could buy warm-up pucks. They don't do that at Sabres games, do they?
I think they do.
Well, this one they maybe were just doing it because of Ovechkin.
Night.
Right.
But you would want the puck Ovechkin shot and warm up, but you wouldn't be able to know that. Whatever. The game. This was something that it was fun experiencing. So I have a buddy who lives on near Long Island, and he's in our group chat. Like, should I go to this game? And he's looking. Ovechkin's got 2 goals at this point on was it Saturday?
Saturday, yeah.
Against Chicago, Friday or Saturday against Chicago. He's got 2 goals, and he's like, should I buy tickets? They're $300 right now, and we're all like the bet there was he can't score in the rest of this game.
Yeah.
If he scores in the rest of this game, you just paid $300 to go watch a New York Islanders game, like you just said, and that's terrible. So, my logic on that was, I don't think he's likely to score. But the thing you gotta try to guess at is, will it be an empty netter, and does he want it to be an empty netter? I thought the answer to that question was yes. Like, their next game is on the road. He's going to want to do it at home.
Yep.
He's going to want to do it at home. Gretzky's there, not make Wayne go from D.C. to Long Island, and maybe he can go home, whatever. Like, I thought he's going to want the empty netter, so I wouldn't. And he did not end up buying these tickets. They, by the way, went up to like $900 the second after the game ended, so he could have tripled his money. But I guess I was a little surprised that Ovechkin didn't want. He said to his coach, right? He said to his coach on the Chicago game, I don't want it. He didn't want the empty netter. And then he said after in post game, I didn't want it to be an empty netter.
Good
so
for
he
him.
preferred it being on the road with a real goal.
Yeah.
The goal was sweet, too.
The goal was sweet.
One leg is like 10 feet in the air as he's following through.
Yep. The goal's perfect. It's so many things about him doing it. By the way, give us a call if you want on this, 803-0550. Your thoughts on it, on the moment, on him, whatever. So many things about it are perfect. Joe, what would this have been like if he was half of the player he currently is and scoring, 19 goals a year? And he's one away from breaking it, and we've got to wait 6 games.
Yeah.
Oh, let's check in again. Instead, he's one of the best scorers in the sport still. Mm-hmm. So it's just...
He's on like a 58-goal pace, I think I saw yesterday.
He missed a month with a broken leg.
And he still broke it.
Yeah.
Broke the record. Yeah.
Just it's everything about it has been perfect. The fact that it happens at the end of the season, that the drama of it, the moment of it, Gretzky being there, the lead into a weekend where it basically goes, Friday, Sunday. And it was awesome. And, thinking about Gretzky being there, that really did heighten it for me. Watching him be there, and he'd said years ago, if he gets close, I'll go to all the games and I'll be there because he felt it was important for the history of the sport. So good for Gretzky, good for Ovechkin, just absolutely incredible. There's so many little things about it that I think are fascinating. You're talking about how if you're a fan hoping to go to the Islanders game, you're hoping he doesn't score again. How about if you had tickets to the next Capitals game? You're watching yesterday thinking, please don't score. Just please don't score. Come back home, because they're back home right after this. Instead, he scores on the road. You got to be happy. So it is what it is.
And there were a ton, obviously, 40% Capital fans at least in that building. The thing is, though, it might be tough to gauge that because when he scores, I'm sure Islander fans might have been they would have been on their feet clapping same way.
Yeah.
Right? Even maybe not cheering it like crazy. Maybe they would have. Probably awkward, too, if you're the away visitor and they just get to take over your building for the entire
I'm
ceremony.
sorry. I was told rooting for someone else to score in your building is wrong and bad karma. Oh, now it's okay?
Uh-huh.
Sorry. What a moment. Oh, and you were watching live?
I was watching with my dad. And actually, live might be a stretch. Okay. I had fallen asleep, and I was awoken by my dad going, "There it is!" I shot up, and I saw him diving through center ice, and then saw the replay and everything. It was unbelievable.
Nice.
I mean, what a moment, right? We're never going to see that again, I don't think.
I know.
It's just incredible.
I did see the pointed out Matthews has a higher goals per game, so he has a shot at it, but he's got to play till 40 and not fall off.
Yeah, I feel like he's also missed as many games as Ovi has in his entire career.
We'll see. No lockouts yet for him though.
Right.
That could be on the way.
Give it time. Yeah.
I think the coolest maybe piece of video I saw, there were a lot of them. Like him with his family was great. Did you see the video of him and Nicholas Backstrom in the locker room after?
Yes.
And Nicholas Backstrom, who's got to have triple the assists on Ovechkin goals than anybody else ever does. And him getting as emotional as he did, Backstrom giving him the biggest hug and tearing up. And it was tough to hear it. Someone on Twitter was it almost sounded like he's like, I'm sorry I wasn't out there for it, because he had a career-ending injury.
Yeah.
And I mean, him still, even Ovechkin, you could tell, him being there, because that's his dude for his entire career. So that moment with those two getting emotional in postgame was, I thought, and Ovechkin grab the puck, when they're taking the photo together, you were huge in this.
Yeah.
So those two having that moment was the best.
How about we'll get to so much more of this and also talk about the Sabres, who won again and appear to be a wagon, maybe? I don't know, whatever.
An April wagon.
It's a sensitive subject. I want to dig into the psyche of everybody here. But whatever. They scored a bunch. Tage had a hat trick, and Boston's free fall continues. So 803-0550, our phone number. We'll get some calls in on this, on the Ovechkin moment. If you saw it live, how you saw it, all that, and any thoughts you want to share with us, we would be more than happy to have them. Paul in Akron. Hey, Paul.
Hey, good morning, guys. That was not a perfect goal, and I just got to say the Islanders missed their chance to do away with the offside challenge. He should have just challenged it, whether it was or wasn't. Just do it. Gary Bettman was there. He would have seen how stupid it is, and they missed their chance, guys. I just wanted to wish you guys a good morning and just say they missed their opportunity. You guys have a good morning.
Thanks, Paul. It is, as you mentioned that, it is funny. Yeah. Because if you remember, you might not remember us telling this part of the story, but the goal was going to be treated by the Situation Room in Toronto, where it was going to be, there's going to be a ceremony, but it won't happen until enough time has passed where the opposing team can't challenge the call. It's very wordy and very awkward. And the moment that goal got scored, what happened? It was like the Caps won the Stanley Cup. Check with the Situation Room. Hold on. Nobody celebrate yet. We got to make sure it's okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm doing right now? I'm watching back. The NHL just tweeted out a video of, it's half the video feed from almost like the ref booth, and the top is the dots. And I'm watching as they celebrate, as the Caps celebrate, there's the ref. He's skating towards the side, and he's pointing at Patrick Waugh. And I'm watching Waugh.
God.
I don't think Wah ever looks down. He's got the TV screens at the bottom. Ref skates over to Wah. No, maybe he is looking down. He did. Okay, he looked down just to see.
He looked at the iPad?
He's looking at the iPad at the bottom. The ref's over there, like probably making sure like you're not challenging this, right? I had that thought before the game, like the night that he didn't score against Chicago, that like I thought, like, because there's the story about Colin Campbell and that like they'll treat it like any other goal. I asked Lindy when you were away, like, would you challenge it? He's like, I would challenge it. Like, I'd treat it like any other goal.
Unbelievable.
He laughed at it. So maybe in the moment Lindy would be different, but he said, like, I think I'd have to challenge it. Wah was someone I thought about, like, oh, this dude's gonna challenge it. Just the way he conducts himself behind the bench.
Yes.
That's the coach I maybe didn't want in charge of that decision.
Most likely
Wah.
to challenge it would be Wah.
Patrick Wah for sure would challenge it.
Yes.
If it was close, but it wasn't. Thank goodness. Thank goodness it wasn't.
How does it strike you, Sorokin posing for pictures?
Yeah. I think the fact that they know each other and like maybe helps a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right.
You didn't like that part?
I mean, listen, it's fine.
You feel like it's mocking him a little bit? He seemed like he didn't know how to react to Ovechkin thanking him in the speech for letting him score the goal.
That's what I mean. Like, hey, put it this way: if Jerry Rice, that he has the record, if Keon Coleman in 15 years sets the touchdown record, there you go. See, I'm making this positive about the Bills, and then as part of the celebration, he and the defensive back are arm in arm. That would never happen.
That would not happen.
That guy would not be like, I'm so glad I was a part of this, man. You roasted me.
No.
Let's take some pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got into a debate with my dad about this. Like, how would you feel about being that goalie? Like, that's tough. And I as a goalie, was like, I would ask to not play the game. Like, I would ask, like, put whoever in. I don't care. I don't want to be that guy. Like, this is going to be all over. And the counterpoint to that is, if you do give it up, like, you're in history for the rest of your life.
Forever.
And it's an incredible moment.
I thought that about Wah and the Islanders and how they would give their best game of their lives, because the pregame speech would be, if you guys don't want to be a part of history, make sure you just play a really sound defensive game.
Right.
Because this goal is going to be played 20 million times, and you don't want to be the guy that's out of position. So, anyway, I don't think Sorokin has to be investigated or embarrassed about letting a goal up. This guy scored 1 million goals. But
yeah,
he's all smiles about it, and he asked for the stick. He got his stick. There's the jersey swap after a game. That happens. You jersey swap. Maybe people out there don't like that because it looks like everybody's friends and you're supposed to be mad. How about I get to have your stick?
Ovechkin gets Sorokin's stick is weird. That's a weird. And Sorokin doesn't get Ovechkin's stick, right?
Right.
There's no way. That thing, for what that's worth.
The story at NHL.com, Sorokin trades stick for Ovechkin's respect. Here, take my stick, and now you will respect me. Okay. Interesting.
That's weird. Maybe it is something to do. I saw the video of Sorokin also in postgame, and he said he didn't hear Ovechkin on the ice. Like when he was saying something, whispering in his ear, like when they were shaking hands at the end. And he got told in postgame, like, oh, he was thanking you. Like, oh, that's okay. Anytime. Basically was his response. Like, anytime. Like, he didn't really know how to react.
Yeah.
I think the fact that they did, like, they've played for Team Russia before together,
sure.
They had some baseline of relationship helped. Like, if that's Fleury in net, are they doing the same thing?
If that's Patrick Wah in net, he's fighting him when he says, "Can we get a picture?"
Right. That's my question. If it's any goalie, does it go the same way? If it's Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in net, does it go the same way?
It's a good question. Listen, you're doing your best. You're part of history. You got beat. I don't think you have to be embarrassed, and the fact that forever that's the goal that does it. I don't think it's any sort of mark against your career, but it is kind of funny to think about. Like, oh, you posed for a picture?
Yeah,
you did what?
Then you had to go back out and play after.
I know, right? That's odd too. Rob in Connecticut. Hey, Rob. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeremy. Good morning, Joe. Welcome back. Glad you're having you back. I hope you had a great time. I had to jump in on this. I was thinking about you guys after the goal was scored. I was like, I wonder if they're paying attention to this as well. This was great. I was bowling, and I wanted to get home before the game came on. got home, put the TV on just in time, and I was getting impatient in the first period. I was like, come on, come on, come on. Of course I can't see it, but I can hear when he's on the ice. And then when I heard the power play, of course, I was like, this is it. And I say, he's going to be in the top of that circle because that's his sniper spot. And when it happened, it was like I jumped off the bed, screamed, loved it. But I think when I got emotional and started crying was when they had the mic'd up. And after he scored the goal, and Melissa was laying next to me, and she says, he went into the Superman, and everybody went crazy. And that's when I just started crying, because it just reminds me of when I was playing hockey with the boys back in the day, and whenever we would score goals, how emotional we would get. And it just brings out the kid in you, And I remember when Gretzky broke the record back then, and I was thinking, I don't think I'm ever going to live to see anybody else break this record. I'm 60 now, so 31 years later, who knows going to score or break it? I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but it couldn't happen to a better person. Ovechkin is a solid, productive player all through. Stayed with Washington the whole time, and
they also gave a stat, awesome. Rob, since they started tracking hits, has he given out the most hits, or like the third most hits? He's played like a wrecking ball for a long time as well. Maybe not so much now as he used to, but yeah. Thanks, Rob. He's been an incredible player to watch from start to finish. Joe Beninati on the call for the Caps radio network. He was on the call of goal number 1. Saw a clip of side by side. It's Beninati. I forget who the color commentator is, but those two have been together the whole time. Ovechkin's first goal is scored for the Caps. They're wearing the Screaming Eagle jerseys.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Craig
Laughlin. Okay, yeah. Those two have been on the call for like all of them.
The Caps released a video that's like, if you got 2 hours of free time, it's 2 hours it's every goal he's ever scored. They have video of every goal he's ever scored. I didn't watch the whole 2 hours. I watched the first 10 minutes, though. Young Ovechkin with the tinted visor and the yellow laces and the Screaming Eagle Capitals jersey was a vibe.
Yeah. Remember how
like throwing himself into, you talk about hits. After every goal that dude celebrated for at least the first 3 years of his career, he went full speed and leapt into the glass like he had just scored a playoff goal. Like he had more personality than his counterpart, than Crosby.
Oh, for sure. Almost everybody
a ton
does.
More.
Do you remember how mad some people used to get about the visor and the laces?
Yes.
People used to really get mad.
I loved
yellow laces.
I think the celebrating, too, was a thing. Yeah.
803-0550 if you have a thought on this. Let's have it. Sabres win. We'll talk about that. Paul joining us at 7 o'clock. We got plenty of football news to get to. But starting with Ovechkin and the Sabres as well. And, I've got an idea for a kind of a silly topic, but your mundane story of something great. How you caught the great moment. Maybe it's happenstance, whatever, me in my truck watching on a phone. You see these great moments, the where were you kind of moments. And this goal, where this record reigns in terms of all the ones we chase.